Hello and welcome to Bite-Size Sumerian, where we explain the world's oldest known language using plain English in 5 minutes or less. Contrary to what you might see in shows and movies, translating ancient texts really isn't as simple as looking at an inscription and just saying it in English. I wish it was that easy, trust me. Me and many other scholars of the ancient world. It's actually a much more complicated process with several distinct steps along the way. So when you're translating Sumerian, you start out with a process called transliteration, which is just when you look at the cuneiform and write out the signs that you see. Some signs have more than one meaning or value, so your transliteration of specific signs might change as you get a better understanding of exactly what your text is, but your initial transliteration is just writing the signs that you see. The next step is something called normalization. This is where you go through your transliteration and write out the grammar as you understand it. This can often mean adding things that aren't preserved in the cuneiform, or taking away things that are, as well as changing what seem to be written errors. The final step is the actual translation, taking the Sumerian and translating it into English, or German, or Arabic, or whatever your target language happens to be. It's often easier to start with a wooden or literal translation to make sure that you fully understand the grammatical relationships between individual words and phrases, and from there you can write a smoother translation that makes you sound much less like a robot. When you're translating Sumerian, or any ancient language, into another language, you have to take several things into account to make sure that you're creating an accurate representation of the original text. This includes considering whether the genre of the text has an impact on a word's meaning, and taking into account the time and place that your text was written in. Meanings of words change depending on when and where they were used, just as in modern English. Think of how the meaning of the English word sick can vary drastically. For example, it means two very different things depending on if I'm talking to my 65-year-old British mother or my 16-year-old American daughter. The next video in this series will show you how this process works practically using this Sumerian text. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Bite-Sized Sumerian. If you want more detailed information, then you can find long-form videos on the Digital Hammurabi YouTube channel, or pick up our Learn to Read Ancient Sumerian book series, Volumes 1 and 2 out now. Order through Amazon or via our Etsy shop at www.etsy.com/shop/cuneiformations. That's CUNEIFORMATIONS. Thanks to our patrons for supporting our work, to you for watching and listening, and to the people of ancient Mesopotamia for leaving such a rich and wonderful history. Hey, before you go, remember to like and subscribe.